Most Nilah players struggle in the lane phase. In today's video, I will be teaching you two main methods that I use in all my games as well as other tips and tricks for Nilah during the lane phase. The following methods will only apply to Nilah as her EXP passive is unique. Let's get started with Nilah wave management. The first method is what I call the first strike method, and this is a viable strategy that you should do when you do not have to leash and the enemy bot lane leashes. It guarantees that you can last hit the 6 minions of the first wave, allowing you to hit level 2 in the next wave without being zoned off. It also makes sure that the next minion waves coming in will be pushing back into you, allowing you to be closer to your turret, giving your lane more kill pressure, and forcing the enemy to be in a worse position. So why guarantee the first wave? Well, both methods actually have a very similar goal, which is to bring the wave closer to your turret and make the enemy be in a tougher spot to farm. However, guaranteeing the first wave means that you will take no damage in order to get the 6 minions, whereas in a normal lane, the enemy might poke you once or twice while you are taking every single minion. So guaranteeing the first wave means that we are taking no damage in exchange for the 6 minions, which is a lot better for our lane phase. Well, what happens if the enemy bot lane doesn't leash? Well, this brings us to our second method, the Gathering Storm method. This strategy is to allow the enemy to push the first 2 waves, but trim just enough minions such that the first cannon wave will be either just out of tower range or under your tower. However, having it just out of your tower range would be optimal. If you last hit a majority of the first 3 waves, you will be guaranteed to hit level 3 way before the enemy, unlocking your W, which is massive in early game fights. With this increase in fighting capacity combined with the fact that the enemy have to walk up in the lane in order to farm, this gives you a much better kill potential in lane, especially if you have a hook support. For example, in this clip, we just hit level 3 whereas the enemy need the next 3 melee minions. This gives us a window of kill pressure. Similarly, if my Renata used her passive proc here on the cannon minion, we would hit 3 and can fight immediately. However, because my Renata didn't recognize the opportunity, we only got Kai'Sa's flash. Even if you cannot kill, you'll be stacking a slow push with this method, which results in you fast pushing after gathering 2+ waves in order to reset your health and mana with a back. You should be stacking waves often in order to back and buy your power spikes as often as you can on Nilah. And this brings us to lane opportunities. Nilah excels at taking turret plates, especially when she is alone. Make sure to take advantage of the enemy's poor decisions to recall or roam when it is unnecessary. 2 plates are 350 gold, which basically just means we got a free kill. On top of that, the enemy also lose a minion wave. Always be aware of fights in the river or jungle, as Nilah is very powerful in these early fights with the amount of damage and utility that she has. Avoid fighting level 1, as Nilah has very low range. You'll see that the pike landed the hook, but we couldn't do anything after the enemy flashed away. We are lucky here that they decided not to chase and hit us even more. Make sure to take advantage of the lane bush to hide yourself from enemy poke when trying to last hit minions. If the enemy wards the bush, that means that they have 1 less ward to protect themselves from ganks. Use minions to get onto the enemy for an unexpected engage. If the enemy don't learn their lesson, just do it over and over to them. The last advice I want to give is to max E. Thank you for watching, and if you learn anything, make sure to like and subscribe. If you have any ideas on future videos that I can do, make sure to leave them in the comments below. And I'll see you next time.